as I learned more about Christianity, is I also then started to question Islam. I opened it, and the verse that it said, I think it's the ayah is said in Arabic, it was about, it was something about Jesus, peace be upon him, and it was talking about what a special prophet he was, not that he was the son of God. And I was like, no, I just shut it. I was like, I'm not listening to this. Why Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, got these revelations? What would be the point of it if it wasn't true? Blah, blah, blah. I started seriously going, what is this? Hi guys, I'm just going to try and talk from my heart now, unplanned. But it's something that I really want to share on socials, especially with the coming month that's coming up. I've actually reverted to Islam, which is just crazy because all of my life I grew up in church, and if you've been watching my stuff, it's been very active about Christianity and church and finding Jesus and God again after saying after just not being in the church for years, during from maybe 15 to like 25. What ultimately happened was I moved to Manchester, and I wanted to feel a connection to something higher again, and I knew that I believed in God. In the space that I wasn't in church, and I was traveling all over the world, I went to lots of retreats, I did lots of new age stuff, ceremonies, tried to find the spiritual side of the spiritualness. I explored that. It led me back to believing that no, there is one higher power, and that thing that people call the universe to me was God. So I also wanted to find some grounding. I was partying a lot in Manchester. I was just kind of defocusing from myself and my self-care, and to me, therefore, church was a place that I could find that, and I could find peace, and I really did. I started going to church, I started going to midweek stuff, I started reading my Bible, and at the same time I started learning and being surrounded by lots of Muslims. Lots of people, of course, in Manchester are Muslim, but before that, 4 years ago, my older sister actually reverted to Islam, 6 years ago, sorry, in 2020, and I never really asked her about that at all. But when I was going through my spiritual exploration, when I was living in Mexico, I remember thinking, I know there's a God and I should ask my sister about Islam. But then I started, because I was just curious about it really, and I'd loved the Arabic culture, a religion and a culture, but I didn't know a lot about the religion. So I remember thinking, I'm going to ask my sister about it, but then I didn't. And then I came back to church. Church for me, I felt like I started coming home. I felt a peace. I made lots of changes in my life. I stopped drinking completely. I was really focused on just self-exploration. But what it also did make me start to question, as I learned more about Christianity, is I also then started to question Islam, because one of my best friends has also reverted before she knew me. I then randomly met another one of my now best friends in a nail salon, who turns out also was a revert. Revert is where they believe that everyone's born Muslim, so when you decide as you're older or whenever to become a Muslim and take your Shahada, which is the declaration of faith, you revert, so you go back, because they believe everyone was born Muslim, so you revert back to that. Sorry, I didn't know a lot of these terms, so I'm trying to explain in case you don't. And I just didn't ask them any, they knew I was on my Christian path. Sorry, I know I say a lot. I'm trying to try and speed this up, but basically over the last, I'd say 8 to 9 months, I started questioning the core beliefs of Islam. And to me, I used to always say, as I really started exploring what the point of it was, why Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, got these revelations, what would be the point of it if it wasn't true, blah blah blah. I started seriously going, what is this? This could actually be, like, I always used to say, like, if Islam's true, it makes so much sense, but I just didn't want to believe it was true. And I know a lot of people in the comments are going to say, like, you know, Jesus is king and everything, and look, I love Jesus. Like, this has been such a hard, like, I have died inside constantly, right? I had a battle of, I'd say, 8 months of thinking Islam is the truth, but I just did not want to believe it. I didn't even ask my sister about it. I didn't ask I didn't ask my revert friends, nothing, until a few weeks ago when my sister said something to me, because she was trying to get my friends into revert classes. She was trying to just help her connect with people in Manchester. I broke down and was like, I have been battling this for ages. I've been doing so much research on this. Alongside that, I have had several signs. I'm not going to go into all of them because I know a lot of people just start counteracting them, but like one of them was there was a random Quran in my house that it turns out my sister had given to my mum years ago, and my mum had not took it back to Devon because it was too heavy. I now know that I was meant to find that Quran because when I moved it, I just wanted to get it out of where it was. I opened it, and the verse that it said, I think it's the ayah is said in Arabic, it was about, it was something about Jesus, peace be upon him, and it was talking about what a special prophet he was, not that he was the son of God. And I was like, no, I just shut it. I was like, I'm not listening to this, I'm not seeing the signs. And then since that, it was more and more and more and more, and I had 8 months of being surrounded by you know, my Muslim friends that had no like actual impact on me. They didn't influence me like actually physically or like said anything verbally in any way. I purposely didn't say any of my doubts to anyone because I knew that as soon as I said that I was questioning stuff, I didn't want anyone's external opinion or thought to impact my decision. So that when I came to this decision, which I'm now at such beautiful peace with, and I'm just so happy, I truly, like, it was truly from me. And you know, that was just one sign of many. There's been so many signs and things that have come, and I'm even now looking at the past 6 years, like, that have been added up to get me to this point where I took my Shahada on the 9th of January this year, and I'm just like, I just feel such a sense of peace, and yeah, I was happy with the path that I was going down. It's something that I'm now just, I'm just at such peace, and like, I just truly am.